Hey, Kiki readers! This video is a sewing guide for the candy corn dress from the 2013 October-November issue of Kiki. So before you watch this video, use the candy corn dress article to make your patterns and cut them out, so then we can get right to the sewing. So you should have ready the top of the white shirt as you see here, as well as the 2 yellow pieces and 2 orange pieces that you cut out with your pattern pieces from the article. The first thing we are going to need to do is to sew up the sides of the 2 yellow pieces and then the 2 orange pieces. The sides are where I drew the lines in this picture, but if you're still not sure, the sides of the yellow and orange pieces are shorter than the top and bottom edges. When sewing, you usually sew right sides together. So lay the 2 right sides together of the yellow pieces and put pins down the sides about 1 inch apart in a perpendicular line to the edge of the fabric. Then, sew a straight line over the pins 1/2 inch away from the fabric. You will do this for both sides of the pinned yellow pieces, and then do the same for the orange. Don't forget when sewing to back tack at the beginning and end of everything you sew to secure the stitching in place. If you are not sure how to back tack, visit our Kiki YouTube channel. You can find a video on back tacking there. I know you just watched me sew the sides of the yellow pieces, but just in case you want to see for more example, you can watch me sew the orange pieces here. Now you should essentially have 3 pieces: the white shirt top, the orange tube, and the yellow tube. Here is a picture of what it will look like when it's sewn together. Again, we want to sew right sides together. So start by turning the orange tube inside out. Everything gets sewn to the orange tube. Then, put the white shirt piece right side out inside the orange tube until the edge of the tube lines up with the unsewn edge of the white piece. Remember, the longer edge of the orange tube matches with the yellow tube. Start by pinning the sides of the tube to the sides of the white piece. The sides of the white piece will be just under the sleeves, and the sides of the orange piece will be the sides you just sewed. Then, pin together all the way around the raw edges of the white piece to the top of the orange tube. And just like before, sew 1/2 inch away from the edge, making sure that the pins are perpendicular from the edge. Now we are going to do the same thing with the yellow piece. Put the yellow piece right side out inside the bottom of the orange tube, which is inside out. Line up the sides of the shorter top edge of the yellow tube with the longer bottom edge of the orange tube. Start by pinning the sides together. Then, just like before, pin all the way around until the edges of the tubes are pinned together, and sew a 1/2 inch all the way around over the perpendicular pins. Take all your pins out, use an iron to gently press your seams open, and flip your dress right side out. It should be ready to go. You could hem the dress if you like, but it shouldn't fray, so it's not necessary. To make the hat, make the pattern from the directions on our Kiki tumbler. Then, cut that pattern from the leftover white t-shirt fabric you cut earlier. Pin the right edges together so that the pins are perpendicular from the edges. Next, sew a 1/2 inch from the edges over the pins, but it will be a challenge to sew that curve at the top of the hat. Just sew very slowly and turn the fabric as you're sewing. If you're nervous, you can draw some curves on a scrap piece of fabric and practice sewing over the line. I think you can do it, and if you mess up, grab your seam ripper, rip it out, and try again. I have to use my seam ripper all the time. That's how I learn. When you're finished sewing the curve of the hat, use your scissors to make some slits around the curve, but not cutting through the line you just sewed. This will help things lay better when you turn it right side out. Go ahead and turn it right side out when you're done with this step and wear it. This is what your finished hat will look like. Remember to take pictures of the awesome things that you make and send them to submissions@kikimag.com. Good luck on your project and have an awesome day.
The end.